Hello everyone, Last Wanderer here, and we now, once again, face Minecraft's annual mob vote. Let's look at this year's candidates. The Sniffer, the Rascal, and the Tough Golem. If you've watched the corresponding videos from the official Minecraft YouTube channel, you should have some basic understanding of these mobs. I'll be summarizing all these features here, plus including some more not mentioned in the original videos. Now, last year, I advocated for the Copper Golem. It, lost. Instead, the LA won, and it's actually been a pretty good addition to the game. It's a lot more useful than I thought it would be, and I will be using it in some upcoming videos. This year, I won't be making the same mistake. This time around, I'll advocate for the winning mob, the Sniffer. Well, judging by sentiment on the actual videos and Twitter, the Sniffer is almost certainly in the lead. And it seems quite substantial. I'll do my best to try to advocate for the other mobs as well, because this mob vote is supposed to just be fun. And I don't think the Sniffer is at too much risk of losing. So let's start with the Sniffer itself. The first mob revealed. The Sniffer is an extinct mob. If it loses the mob vote, it'll remain extinct. But if it wins, you can de-extinct it, which according to Wikipedia is called resurrection biology, or species revivalism. Whether or not this is a good idea is up to you.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Based on this, we know the Sniffer will not naturally spawn in the world. In order to bring this mob back from extinction, you need to find its eggs in underwater ruin chests and hatch them. This gives underwater ruins an actual purpose in the game, because, let's face it, the loot was pretty lackluster from these structures before. Best you could get was a treasure map, which was always more consistently found in shipwrecks. Back to the eggs. They hatch into baby Sniffers on the surface. And yes, this means there's a much larger adult Sniffer too. Let's clarify something real quick though. The Sniffer is not a dinosaur. The Sniffer has 6 legs. Dinosaurs do not. Nor do they have plants on their back. So, the Sniffer is cute and all, but what does it bring to the table? Well, the Sniffer likes plants, and will be able to sniff out and find some new ancient seeds that will be added to the game with it. What will these seeds grow? Well, we can see it turns into a giant viney question mark, so we don't know yet. These plants will probably be used in cool new farms though. The next mob is the Rascal. This passive mob will spawn deep down in the world underneath Y level 0, but not in the deep dark. Currently, it's unclear whether these mobs will respawn, or even if they will tend to spawn in and around abandoned mineshafts like they were shown in the reveal video. While the Rascal is passive, it does like to play a game with you. Hide and seek. If you find it, it'll hide again. After you find it for the 3rd time, it'll give you a special prize. In the actual reveal video, it was shown to give an enchanted iron pickaxe. In the final video, it was also shown to give an enchanted iron shovel. However, these are only 2 examples of an item the Rascal will give. The developers themselves are currently unsure what other items the Rascal will give. They could even give out a completely new item. The final mob is the Tough Golem. This is the 2nd year in a row we are getting a golem as a mob vote choice. These guys are completely passive and are a utility-based mob that the player can construct like other golems. They come in 16 colors. In order to change which color the golem is, you just need to switch out what wool block you use in their construction. How you will make them is currently unknown, but they will likely require a wool block, tuff, and a pumpkin in some configuration. Once you summon a Tough Golem, what does it do? It holds your items. That's the very simple answer. These golems are used to display items of your choice on their robes. That's why there's 16 colors to choose from. The Tough Golem is essentially a fancy display case. But it doesn't just stay still. The Tough Golem will sometimes come to life and walk around. If it finds an item when it doesn't have any, it'll pick it up. After a while of wandering around, the Tough Golem will return to the spot it was summoned. We currently do not know whether the Tough Golem will just choose to walk randomly or if the player can control it with something like redstone. We do know though that unlike the LA, the Tough Golem does not deliver items anywhere. It only displays them. One interesting part I noticed was the emphasis on calling the Tough Golem's display of items art and an art museum. Art! Currently, we do not have much art to display, but maybe we will get some if the long-awaited archaeology features come in the next update. Some people have speculated that the Sniffer could relate to archaeology, but I'd be willing to argue the Tough Golem has a stronger connection. It's worth noting though that if archaeology is planned, it will be coming regardless of whether or not the Tough Golem wins. So, with all the mobs explained, let me get to why I prefer the Sniffer. The Rascal seems to be an early to mid-game mob that won't be useful in the long run. I struggle to think of a single item a late game player could get from it that would be reasonable for it to give early on. The problem with the Tough Golem is that we already have item frames. While it would be really cool for a new way to display items, I feel like an entity that sometimes moves around isn't the best way to do it. Then we come to the Sniffer. It's got a cool egg design, it fits into the Minecraft aesthetic well, with it being a cute passive mob that is a baby and adult form. Also, the adult is one big chunker. Finally, it does what all useful mobs should do. It gets you a unique item. Seeds for a brand new plant to farm. That's my reasoning. Short and simple.
Give me the plan, give me the plan, give me the plan.